So today we will be working on the components. So first component we are making is button, and we have 6 different variations of it. I have used these red lines to highlight where all of my buttons are: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We are going to recreate these buttons. For this, I'm going to simply zoom in, hit T on the keyboard, and type what it says here. So by default it is, since I was working in the file, it has already applied the body one bold. You can just simply go there. If it is something else, you can go and click on the one which you are supposed to apply. Okay, so placing it here. Now what I'm gonna go is that I'm working in the layer panel, so I'm gonna go in assets panel, and here I will find the pages, the right page where I put all my icons. So this was the page. I'm going to click on it. It will expand, and now I can see all my icons. I can also go and search for the specific one, but since we don't have a lot of icons, I'm going to just drop them and drag and drop. So the location icon and my arrow, this one. So as I can see that this is slightly bigger than what I need, so I am going to resize it. It's into multiples of 4, and then doing the same with this, and for this I'm going to go with 16. Okay, this looks perfect. Now I'm going to select all these 3, and I am going to apply auto layout. I can click from here, or I can select Shift A from the keyboard, and yep, it is applied. Now I'm going to do is I'm going to rename it. So this is my button component, and I'm going to add slash, and I gave it a name when I was, so they are bigger names to make you understand what kind of button to expect. So I'm just calling it tertiary button, so just keeping it here, tertiary button, just tertiary will do, I guess. So button tertiary. And now what I'm going to do is just make sure that the text styling is applied to match, yep, the same color. So this is the button, and now what I'm going to do is to add a bit of padding. So basically we need 44 by 44 or 48 by 48 of minimum area for something to be really clickable, safely clickable. You can read more about it in material design or Apple design, but here, since we are just copy pasting design, we are trying our best to put things on multiples of 4. But still, since I resize the screen, and there are other factors where I will mention when they are here, but you need to make sure that this is at least clickable. So I'm going to add some padding and see how I can do about what I can do about it. So the height is 20 with all this padding. So I'm gonna try for probably 8 and place it here and see what is happening. So as I can see, even if I apply like this, it should work. So I will try going up to 40 just to be safe. So there is the other factor that I was talking about is this. So if we add enough padding, or sorry, enough spacing between 2 clickable items, we can try 40, but it is not very recommended. If I was designing my own screen, I would not do that, but since I am copying, so 40 height is kind of, I'm trying. Okay, so I'm placing it outside screen, outside here. Now I'm gonna go to asset panel again, drop my icon and place it and see what size I need it in. I need it in 20. Shift A on screen and applying my auto layout, renaming this button from the layers panel and calling it button. Now, what was the name? I'm gonna go quickly check. So these are the buttons that have no background and they are icons only. So I'm gonna call it icons only, no BJ. These are random names I'm choosing for this particular work. You can be more creative when you have done a bit more reading in the material design. So not to make things complicated, I'm using these names so we can easily remember them. So I'm just making this one button and I'm not going to go and make these, just placing it outside. So now we have two buttons uh, ready. Where is my third button? Here. So it looks similar. I'm gonna shift press alt on the keyboard and drag, and it will create a copy. I'm gonna place it here, and what I'm going to do is bring the map icon, Control X, and here I'm just gonna replace it and of course resize it. Now this is a round button. I need to make mine round too and see if the size is right first, because this here I can see the size almost same, so I'm gonna go with 40. Sorry, this is 36. This button is also 36 with automatic padding applied like this. So I'm gonna go with this again. On your in your own designs, try to make sure that you go with the at least minimum touch area. Okay, I'm going to add the background, and since we can see there is slight shadow, so I'm going to place it a clean place and rename it of course with background and shadow, of course, and shadow. Okay, this should probably be icon only. Okay, so I'm going to go in effects and apply shadow, and Figma's by default shadow is a bit too dark. And as I can see that if I unselect it, you can see that there is no shadow in the in the direction, top direction. It is only in the below direction. So I need to fix this, because in my shadow something like it is on all four, spread in all four directions. So I'm gonna click here on the sun and try to add two. No, actually, you know what, I'm gonna remove x and y values, and in the blur I'm going to make it 8. Okay, if I place it some over something white, you will be able to see what is happening here. And now I'm gonna do is, it is still slightly dark, so I'm gonna go somewhere here, and now it is slightly lighter. Okay, this looks pretty same, and this can be somewhere between like up 30 to 40. So I think for our case 20 is working, 24 is working fine. I'm gonna place this button here, right here. So we have 3 buttons ready. Now I have this one again, it's the same button, so I'm just gonna copy this by pressing alt and dragging it right next to it, so I can gray background. Gray background. So what I'm gonna do is select my arrow, this one, Control X. I'm just gonna place it, or you can place it from, and I should show you different way in a minute. Okay, I'm making, since it's a round button, I'm gonna make it round, placing it right next. Okay, this needs to be a bit smaller, so making that kind of more small. So I'm gonna make it Okay, now this looks reasonable. Even the size is small. I'm gonna add some background and see, is this the right shade or should I go slightly darker? Okay, that was right shade. It is more of more small button, but I'm going to keep it 32. It's just very, I don't want to go more smaller than this. Okay, gray background, icon with no background. Okay, we have one, two, three, four buttons. Now we have this one. Okay, I'm going to create this from scratch. Hit T, write same what it says here, gift cards. Okay, so for this one we need it to be in this color. Placing it here, it is bigger, and we remember, if you don't remember what text size was there, this was the activity, this that can help you. So I placed some numbers right next to, you know, the items we were taking the tab scale from. So just quickly click there, or just quickly click here to see which size we need to use. And this one was the size. I'm gonna place it here, right on the top. Okay, I'm gonna hit shift A, and I'm going to give it a fill, which should be this color. Now we need to round those corners, so I'm gonna give it any number. So you can to make them fully rounded, you see the height or the width, whichever is lesser, you can add that number and it will be fully rounded, or you can give it a good big number, whichever you want to go. So what I'm gonna do is to place it here and see what like how my padding is going to work. So by default setting, Figma has by default setting of 888, so they added 8. So if I make it 12, it becomes slightly bigger, so they are probably using 10. Okay, 10 makes it slightly smaller, so yeah, to be on safe side, let's go with 12. And okay, it is center aligned, and I'm gonna rename it and call it button primary. This is my primary button, and I'm gonna place it here. We have five buttons ready. Now I need to work on this button. I'm gonna make a copy of this one because these are similar, so I don't have to create things from scratch. And I need add button. I'm gonna replace it and see which size I need it in, and which is this one, and place right next to it. Again, it is slightly smaller. I'm gonna go with 32, and fill is going to be this color. And yeah, I think we are good to go. We just need to rename this. So white background and no shadow, white background. So I guess name is unique, it should do. I'm gonna select all of them by dragging by using my mouse. Okay, and I'm gonna just place it here. 1 2 3 4. Which button is missing? This. I'm going to organize them in this order, or in any order, honestly. It doesn't matter because we will just use them as we want. So I'm just placing them what looks reasonable. So this, with this and this look similar, so I'm gonna place them right next to each other, and this button and this button, in fact, just okay. So we can just select them and use this to evenly distribute the spacing. Now what we are going to do is to, so all of them are renamed properly, all of them has their our colors applied, and we fit the all the padding and right text style, and we are even using the component for the icons. So I'm just gonna go create a component set. So there are a lot of details we can do right now, but I'm not going to go into that detail because we just have to create these buttons uh, to replicate those screens. So we can probably do another video for how to create buttons, but for now, this is the only problem we have. So for this, I'll show you. So all other buttons I have only one variants being used, but this comes in three type of buttons, like three different icons. So what I am going to do is just apply icon property, and you see that we also have a red indicator. So I'm just gonna quickly grab this red and see what size it comes in, probably 6, and around those corners, and no 4, and apply this matching red color. It is not 4, it is 5, so I guess I will keep it 6 then, and I'm gonna control X cross, and sorry about the zoom, and bring it here. So it added, sorry about that. Okay, so here I'm gonna go and use absolute position to put it where I want it to be. So when I select this, it is freed from the what do you say, the auto layout. We can move around and place it anywhere. So I'm gonna, yeah, I think this is the right setting for it. We can try by replacing it. Okay, other thing that we need is, this is not visible on all the icons, so what I'm going to do is go into the right panel. I didn't rename it, so I'm gonna select it in the layers panel. I'm just gonna call it red dot, and from the layer panel, red dot, show red dot, or maybe you can rename the property to just red dot, and I'm gonna make it false and create the property. So this is one property that I applied on one of the variants in the button. Now this needs to be replaced into three different icons. So what I'm going to do is go here. You can change the icons. So here, from here, I'm going to select this and add the components that I need. So one I need is a notification. So I'm going to find the notification. And I just forgot what was the third icon, notification and basket. So I'm gonna go there again, notification, basket, and notification. Where is notification? Here. So yep, create the property. Instance, instead of instance, I'm gonna call it icon. Swap properly, probably. So now what we are gonna do is just test our button. So we can apply a lot of other properties to it, but for now we are just not doing that. I'm gonna just test a few things from here. So if I select the buttons, you can organize them. You see here there is a certain order. So I'm gonna go in the type and organize them into same order. Primary is the second one, and then the shadow one is the third one, and then white background is the fourth one, and the gray background and the no background. And from here you can just simply select different kind of types, and until there is a type that has more properties applied to it, we can just do this and like this. Yep, it should work. and I want to move this red dot to here. Okay, property applied. So I've tested my variants. Now my buttons are ready, and I'm gonna place them into the section that I prepared right here. You can add more details when you are working on your personal project, like placing the name and creating different states like press state and etc. But that is the work for another day. For now, I think we can leave it like this. See you in the next video.